This is Barnum 11970. Last little video I want to make for today. I actually saw the first live show that I did, and it was already processed. That was quick, actually. And I watched the ending, and there is literally about 5 minutes worth of what I thought was a live feed that isn't there. Because you see, it starts talking about the football and the defense. And then I was talking about how people care more about football now and being distracted by football than the events of 9/11 and what's going on in the world. Um, it was showing live. So there's about 5 minutes worth of speaking before the internet just got shut down. To me, that's never happened before, and I think it's quite sad. But if anything, I think it just justifies it even further. Now, if you want to think it's coincidence and I'm just being paranoid, that's perfectly fine. But I find it interesting that I can understand sometimes the internet can go out, but like I said, between 5 and 6 minutes worth of that live feed before the internet got shut down is no longer there. And that was where I was talking about some stuff about 9/11. I mean, if you want to think the football is just coincidentally at that time to distract people and they want you to wave your flags and think about defense, because I was talking about defense. Because like I said, in football, and you could use that analogy because today, of course, is the football is going to be all day today, is if you have the Giants protecting their 1 yard line from the Cowboys about to try and score on their end zone, well, the best defense is to have your defense right there at the 1 yard line. Well, if you take that in the sense of the military, shouldn't you have your military here to defend you? So just imagine if the coach of the Giants put their team outside the stadium. Do you think that's going to help them in defending their end zone? No. But they keep telling people around the world that your militaries are supposed to be for your defense. And somebody made a comment saying, oh, sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Well, you know what? Have your offensive line be at the 1 yard line against the Cowboys and see how well that works. Or you can't have an offense because you don't have the ball. So it's just, to me, I find it quite disgusting that that feed just happened to be shut off. I mean, like I said, internet can get shut down, but 5 or 6 minutes worth of 9/11's truth all of a sudden is just not recorded. I find that suspect. But again, to me, it justifies it. So, ladies and gentlemen, your freedom of speech is going to be taken away from you if we continue to ignore these things. And that's what they want. And that's one of those things about, even they teach in religion where they say, just turn the other cheek. I'm not saying start a fight, but what I am saying is you are allowed to defend yourself. There's a reason why if a lion goes to attack a gazelle, it will try and run away and maybe try and save its own life. What do you think's going to happen to that gazelle if it just says, oh, well, the lion is being violent to me, but I have to turn the other cheek? So again, I'm not saying to start anything violent. That is not, you cannot fight fire with fire. But we have to stop ignoring being bullied. And that's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this gets across to people. I point out negative stuff so you could say, you know what? It's something I don't want. So if you see negativity in that aspect, it's actually a learning tool. It's like, here's something in your free will, in your ability to choose anything you want. Here's one of an infinite possibilities. Do you want it? And we can happily say no. But how do you say no to something you don't know is there? So it has to be presented. And if you see it as a learning lesson, then it's a good tool for a choice to be good or to be evil. I choose to do as much good as possible. That doesn't make me a saint. And I will never be a saint. I'm not going to sit here and say I do everything or say everything right. But is this the freedom we want, ladies and gentlemen? It's sad. But I'm not going to keep this long. If if, you guys and girls think what you want. If you want to keep waving your flags, if you want them to do all the ceremonies on football and all these things, they're going to have you waving your flags, going to make you feel horrible for the victims, and they're going to make you continually say, up, we need this army, we need this military, we have to defend ourselves, even though our armies are pretty much nowhere to be found because they're scattered all around the world, taking other people's lives and other people's resources that we're not there to see. We just have to take the word of the people telling us the stories and telling us the truth. And that's why I've always said history, if you break down the words, is his story. Because the winner of any event can make up any story they want. So is it really history or his story? We have a chance to change history into our story. But we can keep doing nothing and wonder why we've continually had wars for centuries. If you think wars are going to create peace, you are part of the old regime that needs to fade away. Please point out anywhere where a war has created infinite peace. It may create temporary peace while they build. Do you ever wonder why they destroy so much things? They don't destroy government buildings. Look at World War II, for example. When we dropped those 2 bombs on Japan, in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, did the leader of Japan live in either of those countries? In those cities? No. Lived in Tokyo. We do not destroy the government buildings. We murder the people. We murder their infrastructure. Why? Because then we have building and job opportunities to rebuild. You think that doesn't make people money? It's all about the money, ladies and gentlemen, or the currency that makes corporations and investors in those military schemes very wealthy, while we die for their cause. And we cheer them, and we justify it. Because, heaven forbid, you think for yourself. People are so afraid to speak out and speak up for themselves. They have to follow what everybody else does. Stand up for what you believe in. Otherwise, you're going to be forced down to your knees. You don't think that'll happen? Then don't pay attention to history. Enjoy your football, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry I have to be the buzzkill, but I care about more important things than a bunch of millionaire people throwing a football to take care of billionaire people. I'd rather care about the billions of people starving to death and the lack of unity and all the hatred in this world because of the divide and conquer that continually fools us to this day. It's time to wake up, because this is not freedom. It's an illusion that we choose to continue. Enjoy.